A long time ago I had major issues finding ferrite. That has kind of been solved with the whole Orokin Void now dropping ferrite, because that's where I spent most of my time. I now have a fair chunk of that. But because of that, I now have a new problem. I didn't have much of the stuff because I didn't really farm the planets that ferrite and polymer bundles and such drop on, which is currently what I'm trying to do, because I was busy doing something and realised I was almost completely out of polymer bundles. So I've just been doing random missions. This was a fisher mission to find the stuff, and 383, I've used more than that today. The main reason that I tend to run out of this stuff is kind of down to a silly reason, and it's just down to the energy restores. I build a lot of them, so 1,000,000 nanospores is nothing. I can use that up pretty instantly. But the polymer bundles, I had 30,000 of this just over a week ago, just before the Ambulance event landed on PC, and I currently have just under 7,000. I can use that just by building more of these. Because I use them a lot, I just build them a lot. To be fair, you could do the silly route if you really necessarily urgently needed 300 polymer bundle, but to be fair, there are easier ways of doing this, even when you're not playing the game, and that is simply, we know polymer bundles drop here, so deploy an extractor there. Try to remember which one it is that does the normal resources. The distilled is more for the rare stuff, isn't it? Yes. So just drop a extractor on there. Or if you are one of the lucky people who managed to get a hold of the Titan Extractor Prime, can put that on there. That will drop, again, double the resources. But the normal one works just as well. And I think to kind of compare this, I'm going to drop one there. And Venus, because it also drops them, I'm going to put a normal one on here. And away it goes. Once the extractors are off and they are doing their thing, you do have 4 hours to kill it. And if you are really badly in need of a resource and you're just doing that while you're doing other stuff, you can of course go and farm for whatever resource it is you're after. I was after polymer bundles, so I went to Uranus, did a 30 minutes infested survival. Yeah, it was 30 minutes. It wasn't meant to be, it was going to be 20, but then it got glitchy and we waited for somebody, and that's a longer story. Came out with 6,600 polymer bundles using a Necros. Technically, there was 4 Necros to begin with, ended up as just the 2 people in there, but that wasn't bad. This is, of course, without a resource booster on the go. One of those, that would be, what, 13,200-ish polymer bundles? That's an insane amount of resources. A lot more than the extractors are going to get in 4 hours. It is, of course, very important to keep an eye on them because they will take damage over time. That's 1,562 ferrite. No polymer bundles. 384 circuits. That's actually not bad, considering that's just a normal one. The difference between the two seems to be it should get twice as much, but to be fair, 384 circuits is a lot more than I was expecting it to actually spit out. And I did throw another one onto Uranus, and it got gallium. All resources that appear on this list can be grabbed by these things. So they are definitely worth using. Even if you're not farming a particular thing, you can put them elsewhere. I did, of course, in comparison, throw out the distilled one. These take 8 hours, and you can see 100 health on that one versus the normal one, which is still sitting at 100 health. One of my extractors, however, is, and I did claim that. What the? Okay, maybe I didn't claim it. One of them lost a bit of health, as you can see. I'm not sure if this still works the way it used to, where it will regenerate its health over time, hence they were all at 100 to begin with, but I used these all over the place a long time ago, and I just seem to have stopped using them recently. But of course, the big problem with the distilling ones is sometimes, well, most of the time, they will work just as the normal ones do, and as you can see, nanospores. It dropped nanospores from a distilling. That just, well, that's not that good. But the normal distilling one, not the prime one I had before, got 6 field run samples. Kind of wish these were able to be put in places like the derelict, but you can't deploy them there. Did they fix the void? Nope, you can't put them in the void either. The reason I wish it would do that is, well, mutagen samples. Of course, if you want mutagen samples, you can put the distilling thing on Eris, because mutagen samples are technically here. They're just a lot harder to find. If you're farming mutagen samples, it's still better to go to the derelict because they are way more common there. But just in case you are wondering, the extractors, again, the distilling one is for the rarer resources, the Titan is for the more common resources, can of course be obtained from the marketplace. They're not that expensive. I can't actually say the price. No, there it is, 50,000. So it's 100,000 credits for both, but they don't really cost an insane amount to build, and it's always handy having at least 1 or 2 of these either on the solar map collecting stuff at all times, or even built so you can send it out to one planet while you're farming a different planet. They are another massively overlooked feature that is insanely useful that nobody seems to use anymore. But anyway, we'll leave this off here for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch yous next time.